On this episode of the History of the Chorus podcast with Curtis and Josh, we finish our look at the band known as Touché Amoré. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at IsSurviveByPro for news and the latest episode postings. And make sure to subscribe to the show, leave us a 5-star review, and write us a comment on YouTube or whatever podcast service you're using. Make sure to check us out on TikTok and give us a follow at IsSurviveByProductions. And if you'd like to see us do some live streams, leave us a comment or tweet us the keyword stream. Without further ado, let's start the show.
The devil is in Atlanta, army surrounded.
Welcome back to the History of the Chorus podcast, where each and every episode we take a look at the history of a band from the chorus genre. I'm Curtis.
And I'm Josh.
Oh, I thought that was listener. My bad. Dan, is that you?
And I'm Josh.
There we go. There's Dan. Oh, man. What's going on, Josh?
Oh, not much, just did another entire listen of like all 6 or 7 albums
Part 2
today.
So
you can do this one.
Yes. Yeah, we've waited long enough. Did you like that? Did you like the GIF I sent you of the guy crawling across the finish line?
Yeah.
Did you notice? Runner. Did you notice the guy with the wheelchair behind him?
Yeah.
It's like, what the heck?
We're just waiting for him to fall over.
We're just, come on, just give up, bro. Just get in the chair. Just get in the chair. Just let me wheel you across the finish line, okay? Come on. Yeah, I'm ready to get it done. But before we do, Josh, I can't believe I missed this the last couple of episodes. I never asked you if you had seen either Vanna or He Is Legend in concert. So now I'm asking you formally.
No, I've never seen either one of them.
All right.
He Is Legend's never come to Oklahoma, to my knowledge.
Really?
And then Vanna. Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing Vanna like on any bills either.
Yeah.
I remember just like only tour certain parts of the country.
Yeah, I remember growing up feeling like a lot of the bands that we liked just like would always go around us. They'd hit up Kansas, maybe some Arkansas, definitely Texas. It's like, well, what the heck? We're right here, man. Can't you just come here too?
Just right across.
Yeah, I mean, you got to come through Oklahoma, right? No?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're actually going to take the longer route around, go through New Mexico, up into Colorado, just to get to Wichita. It's like, what the hell?
I always liked, that's why I've seen A Plea for Purging and With Blood Comes Cleansing so many times, is because they pass, they'd go east to west, and then they'd pass through here, and then they'd always come and hit us again on the way back. And there were a couple times they were just going to like Nevada or Colorado. And so I'd see them like multiple times in a week because they would just be back and forth.
Back and forth. Hey, we were just here. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, I like I said, I've been to do that the last couple of times. I kind of got off track. That was a big part of us doing this podcast was bands that you had seen in concert and such, and I was failing you on that part to even ask. So I'm back to it, man.
In the next episode, we're gonna have a band that
we both have seen
together.
And it was we got to discover that band for the first time together. So we have that special bond with that band. Let me just go ahead and get it out of the way now. Have you seen Touché Amoré live?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, here we go, man. All right, so let's go ahead and finish it up because we got several albums to go here. So let's dive on in. Yes. So where we left off, lineup wise, you have Jeremy Baum on vocals, Clayton Stevens on guitar, Nick Steinhardt on guitar, Tyler Kirby on bass, and Elliot Babin on drums. Thank God there was only a few lineup changes in this band, so we're not going to talk about that again for the rest of this episode. So don't worry, no worries on that part. So, hey, Josh, you and I love split EPs,
Hey,
right?
yeah, I love a good split EP.
Let's talk about some split EPs, Josh. 2013's Touche Amore / Pianos Become the Teeth split from Death Wish Records. Now, this split was recorded in the same session as their following split with let's see, wait a
Title
minute.
fight?
Yes, yeah, with Title Fight. Yeah. Now, Pianos Become the Teeth. Did you get to listen to anything else besides, or did you even get to listen to the song that they put on this album?
Pianos Become the
Pianos.
Teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought you had said something in the last episode about when you listen to the splits, it would just give you touches.
I started just getting the splits from YouTube just to
Okay.
avoid that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot easier. Okay, so what'd you think of Pianos Become the Teeth?
I don't know that I cared for them that much on this EP. It was
Mhm.
okay. But it made me want to look them up.
Look them up.
And there's a song that's not on any of their albums that I could find. And it's
Okay.
called The Homes We Die In or The Houses We Die In.
Yeah, I think that's like one of their earlier songs, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I watched the music video for that. And aside from the video being really depressing, the song was really good. And
Yeah.
I was kind of like, okay, I was like, I might have to check out some of their other stuff. I still
Yeah.
haven't listened to any of their other albums yet, but they drew me in with that video. I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
I have, yeah. Yeah, it was
Okay.
a good song too. But yeah, you're right. The music video is pretty depressing. It's like,
The
yeah, okay,
name is
yeah,
just so
skip
cool
that,
that
man.
like it drew me in. I was like, I need to hear more about these guys, see if they're.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Arsonist Get All the Girls was called Pianos Become the Teeth?
Oh my gosh,
Like, how
man.
much more epic would that be? Or like Dance Club Massacre,
I mean, is
Pianos Become the
arsonists?
Teeth.
I mean, arsonists get all the girls. Isn't that a pretty awesome name in the general?
It is a pretty great name. I was just
Yeah.
telling somebody the other day, they were talking about how they were going to buy tickets for a show and they were afraid that the person wouldn't show up because it's in a town where like they have not shown up for the show a couple times.
No.
And I don't know if you've ever been to a show where that's happened, but I've been to many shows where that happens, and it is the most infuriating thing. I was supposed to see Alicia like 3 times, and they didn't show up to any of those. And two of them,
Really?
they wound up comping tickets. It was Doom Rocket, and they wound up giving us like free vouchers for the next show.
I don't know what the deal is with that.
And then also Arsonists Get All the Girls. Like 2 times I was supposed to see them and they didn't show up. One of the times was with Alicia, and it was because both bands got arrested like the night before. And
Nice.
so, yeah, they weren't there. And then the other one, I can't remember what the deal was, but yeah, really disappointing. Like 2 times, it would have been
Hmm.
so cool to see that band because I've seen Dance Club Massacre, and it's kind of along the same lines, but Arsonists really, they within those bands, they really reign supreme.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Pianos Become the Teeth is an emo / post hardcore band for those who've never heard of them. Definitely give them a try. Check them out. The 2 songs on this EP include Gravity Metaphorically by Touche Amore, which is actually the longest song in Touche Amore's history. Jeremy
It was like
Baum.
4 minutes.
Yeah, it was like 4 minutes and 4 minutes, 8 seconds long. So, yeah, what does that tell you about the band? They've been quoted by saying, quote, "We never set out to write short songs. It just happened that way," end quote. I mean, it
I
just
mean, you
happened.
know
You know,
my
like,
take.
how
Yeah,
long was that
say
one?
what you
It
got
was
to
like
say
30
and get
seconds,
out.
man. Yeah, exactly. I mean, get to the point. Let's move on to the next one. And then the other song is Pianos Become the Teeth's song Hiding. Pretty good EP. This is one of my favorite EPs for sure. Definitely doesn't take the place of the Touche Law Dispute one. That's, I mean, nobody's taking that spot from number one off of their hands. That's my favorite split for sure. But this one comes in probably close second. All right, let's talk quickly about this next split. Not a whole lot of meat to this one because it's more or less just each band covering each other's songs. 2013's Touche Amoré / Title Fight split from, check out this record label name, Sea Legs Records. Get your sea legs, boy.
I kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you never heard Title Fight, they are described as a melodic hardcore / hardcore punk / emo / indie rock / post hardcore band. And this split EP was produced by Will Yip. You ever heard of Will Yip before, Josh?
Yep.
Yep.
No.
He has done work. Where am I at here? Okay. So I know him because he's done some things with some bands that I like. He's done let's see here. He did some work with Anthony Green on some of his solo works. He's also done a bunch of Circa Survive. He did let's see here, the newest Saosin album. Did some work with Balance and Composure. He's done most of Law Dispute stuff. He's got a pretty decent disc choreography. There was another one. Oh, there was one that popped out and I wanted to say to you, but I forget. Oh, he did a Panic at the Disco 7-inch album, Death of a Bachelor / This Is Gospel. Or is that maybe that's a single. Might be like a single thing. Does that sound familiar to you at all?
What was it? Oh, This Is Gospel?
Death of a Bachelor / This Is Gospel. Said those two 7-inch. So I didn't know if it was like a single of those two or something.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure both those songs were on Death of a Bachelor, the album.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Did you hear they called it quits too?
Panic at the Disco, really?
Yeah, they just here recently.
Wasn't it just didn't it get to a point where it was like he was Panic at the Disco and that was it really? And it was just like a bunch of musicians around him?
Yeah, in the beginning it was like
there was like 3 or 4 guys together, and then like a bunch of them left, and it felt like he was the only guy that was really left.
One of them was like his brother or his cousin. I think his brother. And then I want to say that their lineup that they had still had like one of his family members, I think. But he did have a band, like they were Panic at the Disco.
Right.
It was like 2 guys and a girl. And then he did like a full band and everything. He had like a horns and strings section and stuff.
Yeah.
It was really cool when I saw him. But they said his voice, like this last year or so, had really gone downhill. Like I just don't think he was like taking care of it, and
oh boy,
just kind of. I mean, he was shifting directions. They just had a kid, like his first kid, and he's involved in like a million other things. Like he was doing a bunch of Broadway work and stuff. So I imagine at this point, it's like, why tour, dude? Like, why do that to yourself?
Right. And stay at home, take care of my kids, still do work.
I don't blame him at all. He's been doing that for like at least
mid 2000s, early 2000s.
God damn, bro. He's probably been doing that for close to 20 years.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Oh man. Okay. So like I said, this split EP between Touché Amoré and Title Fight is 2 songs. It's just each band covering a song from the other band. So Touché Amoré covers Title Fight's song Crescent Faced Depression. It's like, what the heck? And then Title Fight covers Touché Amoré's song Face Ghost, which was off of Parting the Sea Between Brightness and Me. What do you think of those 2 songs, Josh?
I like this one. I like Title Fight.
Did I ask you what you thought of the last EP or this last split? I don't even remember if I did. The actual songs of those. Yeah, not the band, but just like the 2 songs on those.
I mean, you started at the front of talking about that with asking me my thoughts on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like that one okay. I like this one with Title Fight. This one, other than the Circa Survive and Touché Amoré one, out of this block at least, is probably my favorite.
Okay. The title fight one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool, man. Cool. Alrighty, man. Now let's get some full length albums. You want to?
Yeah, there's not much to
Let's
talk about with the split
let's
EPs. They're
no,
all
not really.
like, what's funny is like with them, they'll do a split EP that's like one song from each
Yeah.
band. But like a lot of bands do like 3 songs by one band, 3 songs by another band or something, you know?
Well, and I
So
mean
it's over
that's
in like 5 minutes.
that's one thing that's going to end up happening on this next band that we talk about. They've got like a ton of split EPs, but they're all like 1 or 2 songs. It's like, oh, come on, you gotta give me some more meat to that than just 1 or 2 songs, man. You
Cancer
know?
Bats does?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
I
got
didn't
a
know they
ton,
did a bunch of splits.
yeah, they got a ton of splits, and like I said, most of them are like just 1 song from each band. It's like, really, come on, man.
Yeah.
So anyway,
It's like, what's the point? Let's just call it a collab. Let's not call it a split.
yeah, at that point, I was like, what are we even doing, man? Yeah. All right, let's talk about 2013's Is Survived By from Death Wish Records. Produced by Brad Wood, who has done work on Smashing Pumpkins album Adore, Me Without You's Catch for Us the Foxes, Brother, Sister, and It's All Crazy, It's All False, It's All a Dream. He's also done work with As Cities Burn on the Hell or High Water album. And he's also done work with Balance and Composure on the Things We Think We're Missing album. What do you think about Is Survived By, Josh?
Is
I
this
feel
your
like
favorite?
I keep wanting to say productions at the end of it.
Is this your favorite Touche Amoré album?
I think so, man. I think this one takes number one, and then Parting the Sea is really a close second.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I had a feeling that this was your favorite
What
album.
what made it feel like this is my favorite album?
I don't
The
know.
smile on my face,
I
the
I could
goofy
just
smile.
feel it listening to the album.
Okay, okay. What describe that then?
I don't know.
Just a
I
feeling.
knowing that this is one of your favorite bands and
Mhm.
like kind of knowing what you like about them and stuff, I could just like listening to this album, I was like, okay, I like if I was a big fan of this band, this would probably be my favorite album,
Okay,
you know?
okay, okay. He knows me so well. Let's see here.
I
Okay,
did
so
save I saved a couple off this one.
okay, let's hear it, man.
So I saved To Write Content,
Mm-hmm. Great.
DNA,
Mm-hmm.
Social Caterpillar,
Mm-hmm.
Steps, and then Is Survived By.
Okay. Good
And
songs, man. Good
then
songs.
that was when I listened to it the first time. The second time, I saved Anyone Anything, Kerosene, Nonfiction, Steps. So it sounds like I saved the whole album essentially between.
Basically, essentially,
them.
yeah, essentially, man. From deathwishrecords.com describing the album is survived by shows Touche Amoré embracing a maturation of their trademark melancholy. The sounds are welcomingly familiar, inspired percussion amid a sea of imaginative, excuse me, guitars and impassioned vocals. However, the underlying unrest is more complex and touching than any previous Touché Amoré release before it. Simply put, these are not simple love songs that dwell in the past, but complex life songs about living in the present. Throughout the entire album, vocalist slash lyricist Jeremy Baum digs deeper in search of personal catharsis, allowing us to relate to his drive to be clearly heard, truly understood, and unapologetically remembered. It Survived By not only shows growth in subject matter, but musicianship. Good Lord, they are putting up some big boy words. Musicianship
Musicianship.
for no, I was talking about the word but for Touche Amore. The jangly guitar work for Clayton Stevens and Nick Steinhardt is on a new level here. Throughout the release, effortlessly hold up here, man. hold on. We're gonna get through this, man. We're gonna get through this.
Effortlessly.
Thank you. They where am I even at now? I've lost my okay. They effortlessly entangle one another to construct beautiful yet unexpected melodies, while the explosive rhythm section of Tyler Kirby and Elliot Babin shines in the frenetic pace they keep, achieving a stunning balance of hook-laden listenability and emotion. How was that?
You got listenability.
I did. Some of the words that I would think I'm not going to get this one, I got it, and then like other words, I just for some reason kept getting caught up. The
It's
one of the bad
extra
thing too is like,
nerve-wracking when you're sitting there just like reading, like like
well, and
you're on
it's
the spot reading out loud.
yeah, and the bad thing too is like the print is pretty small and my eyes are kind of dried out right this second, so it keeps getting blurry every time I like blink. And it was like, just keep pushing through, keep pushing through. You got this.
You have to
Yeah,
get out your reading glasses.
exactly. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll go one on a chain and just bring it up real quick.
Yeah.
All right, so songs on this album include the opener "Just Exist," "To Write Content," "Praise slash Love," "Anyone slash Anything," "DNA," "Harbor," "Kerosene," "Blue Angels" featuring Julia Blake. Oh yeah, Julia Blake vocals from Vow. I had to question it because I was like, I was thinking it was somebody else. It was supposed to be somebody else, I thought.
I don't
Anyway,
remember hearing a woman on this album.
yes, at the very end of Blue Angels, um, trying to think what the lyrics are. Um, it's like the very last line. You can faintly hear a woman trying to harmonize with him.
Okay. You said trying to. Does she not succeed?
No, she does. She does. I shouldn't have said try. She does. I mean, she does succeed.
She's
Julia
trying. I
Blake.
mean,
She's trying her hardest. God bless her. She's trying her hardest. Now, Julia Blake vocals from the band Vow. Then you have Social Caterpillar, Nonfiction, Steps featuring John Simmons on vocals from Balance and Composure. And again, that's kind of like on Blue Angels is at the very end there, and you can kind of like barely hear him in the background. And then the finale is survived by. I want to tell you something, Josh. You know my love and affection for the band Manchester Orchestra.
yes.
You know how much I love the frontman Andy Hall.
Yeah, he's on one of these tracks, isn't he?
No, not this one.
Not this album?
He's on their newest album, Lament.
Okay.
We'll get to that one. But I've told you before, it's like this, especially Andy Hall by himself. He's like in everything, dude. He's everywhere. He
Yeah.
knows everybody. It didn't dawn on me till about a year ago. I was looking up the lyrics to the song "To Write Content," and there's that part where it kind of breaks down, and he's talking about like what did he say? It was the fall of last year in New York City, day two of a tour. When my friend Johnny said, "Hey, I'd like you to meet Andy," and this whole time I just thought I was just some random dude. That guy was Andy Hall, and that's how they met.
Okay.
Andy Hall's everywhere, dude. He's in everything. That's
I
what I
was
love about
surprised to
him.
hear him on the most recent Every Time I Die album.
Yes, dude, and he's such good friends with them too. It's like he knows everybody, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, it's just crazy. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite album. Love me every song from front to finish, from finish to front. Um, favorite song. I don't know, man. To write content is really good. Anyone, anything is really good. Harbor is really good too. And yeah, I love the finisher too of Is Survived By. But like I said, I could just listen to this album front to back all day long, man, and just not skip a beat. So, what about you? You got any favorites on this? I mean, besides the ones that you picked out, do you have like one favorite one? There's like, yes, this is
Mm,
the one.
not really.
Okay.
I mean, I do think like listening to them more, I could see some of this stuff kind of making it into my rotation when it wouldn't have before. So I don't know. There are some songs that I like quite a bit.
It's just
What's the
it's one of those bands for you where it's just like I like them, but I don't like them that much, right?
yeah.
And I get
I
that
like
because I have bands like that too. I mean,
yeah.
so
What's the one where he says it might not even be this album, it might be one of the later ones. Um where it talks about the grave, it says like something about a hole and you paid for it up front.
oh, that's I think that's on the next full length album because I think he's talking about his mom.
Okay.
That's gonna be a hard album to talk about, dude. Stage 4, yeah, we'll get there though. Yeah. So that is
That just makes me think about Herb, where he's like, "Would you take advice from anyone with stage 3 cancer?" He's like, "No,
oh
it's got
my
to be stage
gosh,
4."
oh my gosh,
He's like, "It's not stage 4." He's like, "What?" He's
what's
like,
the
"I could
point?
give you advice and it'd be as good as a stage 3."
Oh my gosh, Red.
Because like one of their
Oh,
friends
Larry
had
David.
stage 4 and was like giving advice to like
Hmm.
different people in the group. And it's like, would you take advice from stage 3? You're like, no.
All right, that is 2013's Is Survive By from Death Wish Records. So after that album came out, Josh, I think I mentioned it in the last episode. They had gone over to the UK on tour and they had done a live set on BBC Radio. Well, they would make a live on BBC Radio 1 Volume 2 this time around while they're on tour supporting their Is Survived By album in the UK. And then once we got to 2015, we got ourselves another split EP. Let's talk about it real quick here. 2015's Self Love from Touché Amoré and Self Defense Family Split. Have you ever heard of Self Defense Family
I hadn't
besides this?
until this, yeah.
Yeah. So they're considered post
I don't
hardcore,
really care to
post
know about them.
yeah. Hey, I'm going to tell you here in a second. It's kind of
This is the
interesting, but
weakest split. This is the weakest one.
okay. They're post-hardcore, post-punk, indie rock, and emo. So, Self Defense Family, originally named End of a Year, is this is really strange. Is made up of musicians who were in the original lineup, and also there are also musicians who are studio slash touring people, and so they had this thing worked out where it's like you have the original lineup and then you have all these like kind of
So
like
so it's another
what
band that's made up of ex Touche more members
no
and
no
guys. Oh,
no
okay.
no. This is it has nothing to do with Touche Amore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. I'm just talking about Self Defense Family in itself.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so you have your original lineup that started out as the band name End of a Year, then they changed their name to Self Defense Family, and they have all these people that have either gone on tour with them or were studio musicians that they basically like kind of mashed everybody together and they called it a band, and it's basically like this like rotating lineup where it's like, hey, we're about to go into the studio, we're about to go on tour, hey, I'm not available, so I'm not going to be here for this one. It's like, okay, well, so and so can step in. It's just like this, like there's like 20 members in their band, but like they're all like rotating. Yeah, it's so weird, dude. But yeah, I thought I'd tell you that. I just yeah, I don't know, man. Just I don't even know. It's a weird concept. Yeah, so this it's just a weird concept that self defense families got going on. We'll just leave it there.
I mean, if it works for
Uh,
them, whatever.
I guess I don't
I don't
know.
give a shit.
So this album was kind of like the Touche Amore La Dispute album split. was a collaboration between the two bands. And once again, it would be produced by Will Yip, who did a split earlier.
Yep.
The two songs, he's got the yips. The two songs on this split are Circa 95 and Low Beams. It's an all right split. I'm okay with it. I mean, it's not my favorite. It's okay. Is your least favorite?
Yeah, I feel like the vocalist for Self-Defense Family, he wears like all black,
Oh, look out.
like some very form-fitting stuff. He's bald for sure. He's bald. Got the
I don't
big
think so. I don't
thick
think he is actually.
glasses. He's got a wallet chain that's like down to his knee.
Combat boots on.
Doc Martens.
Doc Martens. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know, I've got a
Interesting.
picture for this guy in my head, and he could also front a band called like the Swing Daddies or something.
The Swing Daddies. Write that
He's
down.
yeah. He's your classic vocalist for a ska band.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Good one. Thank you for that imagery. All right. So that's the self-love split from Touche Amoré Self-Defense Family in 2015. Now, the band has been with Death Wish Records this whole time we've been talking. Obviously, the splits are a little bit different, but their full-length albums, they've been with Death Wish. This is where they decide to leave and take on a new adventure with one of Josh's favorite record companies, at least at the time that they're switching over, which is Epitaph Records.
Woo, Epitaph.
Woo! Maybe
Well,
back
I
in
don't
the day,
know.
not so
I was gonna
much
say I
now,
don't.
because this is 2016, Stage 4
Oh,
from Epitaph Records.
yeah. I would have been an Epitaph fanboy in like
Early,
2005,
yeah, let's say mid to a little
2006.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 2016, Stage 4 from Epitaph Records. Once again, just like the last album, this album is produced by Brad Wood, who did Is Survived By. The title of the album takes on a double meaning, hinting at both the fact it's the band's fourth full-length album and also the highest level of cancer staging, a reference to the fact that Baum's mother died of cancer in 2014. Is it just me, Josh, or is this album a really hard listen?
It's a little depressing.
A little.
This is the one that has the voicemail in it, right?
Where he talks about the voicemail,
Well,
or
when
does it actually have a voicemail? Oh yeah, it
he
does
he
have a
he
voicemail.
mentions the voicemail in one song, and then I think it's
Yeah,
another song where it actually plays.
yeah, yeah.
That is
You're
a
right.
little rough.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've heard the voicemail intro at the beginning of Stick to Your Guns album.
True View.
True View, yeah.
You just have to, what does she say? You just have to figure it out on your own.
Oh no, she says you, yeah, it's like
What did she say?
whatever,
Hold
you
on,
gotta
we'll
figure it
figure this
out
out here.
your way.
You just figure it out your own way. Because in the end, no matter which direction you go, you're the only one that can what is it, somebody like you're the only one that can decide how to do it or something like that. I forget how she says it at the very end. Kind of gets a little muffled too.
Yeah,
Dude, I don't know how you feel about that album. That's my favorite album by Stick
it's
to
a
Your
good
Guns,
one, but
dude.
it's
That's
also
a really good
like
album.
for different reasons, it's a tough one to get through sometimes.
Oh,
Oh
for sure. You're
fuck,
not
I
here
didn't
right
realize
now.
Spectre came out. They talked about releasing it last year, but they didn't want to release it until they could tour again.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they were one of the later ones getting back out on tour. I would like to see real quick what she says.
Oh, that's fine. I'll just go through the song list here. So opener is Flowers and You. You also have New Halloween, Rapture, Displacement, Benediction, 8 Seconds, Palm Dreams, Softer Spoken, Posing Holy, Water Damage, and finale Skyscraper featuring Julie Baker. Oh, can't hear you. Can't hear you.
So she says, you just got to figure it out your own way.
Right.
Because no matter which way this thing goes, you're the only one who can do it.
There you go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's a good
Uh,
album.
yeah, that's a rough one to get through. The other one that gets me on that album is from, is it Better Days Before Me?
Oh, that's a good one, man.
Oh
Which
no, it's Through the Chain Link.
through the chain link. I already knew when you started
Yeah,
first playing that.
that's a rough one.
It's a good one too, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Better
see,
Days
that's an
Before
album I can
Me,
just
that
listen
one has
to.
a line in it too that like really hits that you're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like that one's the um
Is it towards the build up at the very end? He's
yeah, it's
kind
like
of doing a little
there was a
speech.
time
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that one is pretty good. God, Stick to Your Guns really
They know where to hit you,
I
man,
can't
right in
wait
the
for that
feels.
episode
Yeah. Oh, it's
because I
coming.
have seen Stick to Your Guns several times.
Oh, it's a coming. That's gonna be a big one, man.
I saw them. I
That'll
think the
probably be a
first time I saw
three-parter.
them, no, I'm not sure. I think I saw them for Hope, but I saw them when they were touring Diamond, and that was pretty fucking
Ooh,
crazy.
that's a good album too, man.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah,
All right, we'll get back to the band we're talking about.
yeah, let's get back to this. It's
I can
so
sit here all
hard,
day
bro.
and talk about Stick
I
to Your
mean,
Guns.
I know you could. We'll save that for another day. Save that for another day, Josh. Save that for another day. Yeah, I mean, I've listened to Stage 4 before, and it's a good album. I mean, there's some good stuff on it. Um, when it first came out, I listened to it, and then I hadn't really listened to it a whole lot until we were doing research for this, and I listened to it all the way through the first time. And then I was going to listen to it again the second time, and I got through like halfway through the first song on the second run. I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I just can't, I can't listen to this album again because it's just like, it's too depressing to me because of knowing like what it's all about. And like every song, I'm not saying like every song is the same, but like, I mean, it's all kind of the same themes of just like his mom and like her death and everything. It's like, I can't sit there and I can't listen to that, for whatever 10, 11 tracks, you know.
Yeah, it's heavy.
So I mean, like I said, it's got some good songs on it. It's just oh
The
man.
album
Yeah, it's
does
heavy.
have millions more plays than is survived by or
But
any of the ones before it.
I think the reason for that though is because it's on Epitaph Records. It's on a way bigger label than what Death Wish was. And so I'm sure the
Just got more
um
exposure.
got more exposure. They their songs are longer on this album than any of their other ones. I just think that being on a bigger record label, they got a lot more exposure because
Yeah.
there was a lot. I remember when it was coming out in 2016, there was a lot of like hype for it, like a lot of like, um, oh, what's the word? Like advertising for it, basically.
Okay.
So, any songs in particular that stick out to you on this album?
Let's see what I saved. So first run through, first run through, I only saved one song. I
Nice.
saved Posing Holy.
Okay.
And then
Sorry.
second run through, I saved Displacement, Benediction, and then Posing Holy again. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, and I can't remember exactly which tracks there were, but there was some musical stuff in here that made me think a lot of Daybreaker.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're really familiar with Daybreaker. They only
Oh
have
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
one. Okay, I was gonna say they only have like the one full length and then that EP. Um, but that's crazy too. Like all roads lead back to Stick to Your Guns, man. The
No,
first
here we go.
night I ever
Oh wait, I thought all roads led back to Manchester Orchestra.
well, they might. Um, yeah, the same time I saw Stick to Your Guns touring Diamond, I saw The Story So Far for the first time that night. It was their first major
Because those
album.
two bands are always on tour together.
Yes. And then opening for them was Daybreaker.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Was that your first exposure to Daybreaker?
Yeah, that was their first album. That was the
Okay.
Northbound Trains EP.
Yeah. I was supposed to because I remember when you showed me that album, you were like really pumped for it and everything.
Yeah.
So cool, man.
Really good.
Yeah, it's a
Some
good album.
some East Coast pop punk.
Alrighty, man. You got anything else for 2016 Stage 4 from Epitaph Records? It's I don't really have a
No.
whole lot to say about it because I just kind of want to just leave it. I mean, I think it speaks for itself. So
Yeah, there's definitely some good lines
mhm.
from this, and over all these albums musically, they all hit for me.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, the
mainly
music never
just
ends. Yeah.
yeah, it's mainly the lyric or the vocal style that
Mhm.
doesn't 100% do it for me always.
I hear you,
But
man.
I mean, I like what he's doing on Parting the Sea, like vocally for a lot of that stuff. It just kind of depends because he goes back and forth. He goes back and forth from almost kind of more of a hardcore thing to the more spoken word thing.
Right.
So,
Yeah. No, I agree.
you ready to beat the hell out of a dead horse?
Yeah, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but yeah, we'll talk a little bit about it because we did talk about in the first episode made mention about reissues and re-recordings of early albums and such. But
Yeah. Did you say you were in favor of this one or not? Do you prefer
we'll
the original Dead Horse or do you prefer this one?
we'll get to it. There's a few things before we get to that. So hold your horses, hold your dead horses there. Hold those dead horses back. They're dead. They're not going anywhere. Okay, so you remember how I said in the first episode that the band did a live set in the UK at BBC Radio? And
Yeah.
remember how I said that again just like a few minutes ago? Well, they did it again. It's live on BBC Radio 1, Volume 3. Get yours now for only $10.99. If you call in the next 5 minutes, we'll throw in a free t-shirt. No,
Where are
they
they from? Where are they from?
who? Touché Amoré?
Yeah.
Los Angeles, California.
Oh, why do they do all this BBC radio stuff?
I don't know. Well, I think it's just one of those things where it's like you do it one time and then like you make a connection and then the next time you're over there, you're like, hey, we should do it again. All right, let's do it again. And like the
All right.
third time, you're like, hey, you know, it'd be cool if we made a volume 3, man. Hey,
Dumb.
look out. Volume 4 is probably on its way, I'm sure. Okay, so check this one out, Josh. On February 16th, 2018, the band played their 1000th show extravaganza.
Is that the 10 years, 1,000 shows live at the Regent Theater?
Yes, exactly. It was actually on the exact anniversary of their first show in 2008. Now, according to the members of the band, if you do the math, that comes out to a show every 3 days for those 10 years. So you would be touring for 10 years straight, 3 shows a show every 3 days. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
That would be taxing. That would
Yeah.
suck.
I mean, that's the
uh
average, you know, like
yeah.
there's probably like an off week there and then a week that they
Oh, for sure.
played
Yeah,
every
yeah.
night, you know.
No, for sure. Yeah,
Is the
yeah.
Regent in Los Angeles?
Well, the reason I don't know. I can't remember because I don't think it is. I could be wrong. Which is the Regent Theater, right?
Yeah.
This is Colorado. Yeah, downtown LA. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So it is downtown LA.
Those kind of things are always crazy whenever it's the place you're from. Like if
Right.
you look at any of the Every Time I Die shows that were like big, you know, releasing a new album or something, and they're in Buffalo,
Buffalo.
fucking crazy.
Or
The other
the
one,
Chariot in Atlanta, Georgia.
yeah. The other one I was thinking of was AFI, and I can't remember where they're from, but I was watching something the other day that it was like they came back, and this was like during their peak, like those
Yeah.
early really punk albums. And they came back like after a few years, and that place was crazy.
It was rocking. So the show was played with bands that Touché Amoré had previously collaborated with. The only band that wasn't there was the Casket Lottery because of scheduling conflicts. So bands like Law Dispute, Self Defense Family, Pianos Become the Teeth, Title
Pianos
Fight.
become the teeth.
Exactly. They were all there performing some of their songs that they had collaborated on and such. All right, Josh. Now we can talk about Dead Horse 10. On August 9th, 2019, the band re-released Dead Horse 10, a re-recording of their first full-length album for its 10th anniversary. I like both of them. What say you?
Yeah, I liked the first one. And then this one just like hits a little bit harder. Like it's
Yeah.
just some of the songs are a little bit more hardcore. So
Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
I
I think
saved
this is a really good re-recording. We talked about in the last episode about reissues, re-recordings of I'm always afraid, and there's a few that are out there that I'm just like, no, I don't like this newer version. But I'm always afraid it's like I feel like you're gonna destroy something that I grew up on, or something that I really loved. That's
yeah.
always the fear. So I'm kind of like, should they do something like that? Should you really do something, or should you just leave it be and just play the songs live, now, you know?
Yeah, it's a gamble.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's definitely a gamble for sure. Now, what were we gonna say?
The ones I saved on this one were Honest Sleep and Cadence. That was the first time through. Second time I saved Always Running, Never Looking Back, and Cadence again. So
Nice. Nice. Dead Horse.
yeah,
What do you
I
think
mean
about that
I
album artwork, bro?
I like it. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, that was sick. That
It's
was
pretty
sick,
brutal.
man.
The original was the person in the field with the clouds in the sky.
Look, the clouds in the sky. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Hmm.
I don't know, they're both good. This one is just like I don't know, this is kind of what you hope for. The best you can hope for when this kind of
This
thing
is
happens is that it sounds the same or it sounds just like kind of an amped up version of it. I feel like you're never
right,
going to hear one and be like, wow, like this is just amazing.
right. But I think this is a
You
good
just do what
example of
Converge
this is how
does and
you do it.
record the exact same album again. Like just take the old album and just slap the new sticker on it and put it out.
Like, are you sure this is new? It sounds the same. No, trust me, it's new. We're just
They
that
could
good
tell
at
me
recording
it
everything.
was the exact same recording and I would believe them.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so that's Dead Horse 10, 2019, man.
Hey, did you know
Alrighty.
that his heart lies in Los Angeles?
I
I
think
don't know if
so,
he's
man.
mentioned that enough to you. I don't know
No,
if he's told
I
you.
don't know if people know this.
He tell you how much
His
he loves
heart
LA.
lies in LA.
He loves LA.
He must be the only guy that likes LA, man.
He likes LA, but he hates everything about LA.
So it's love-hate relationships. Go figure that one out, man. Yeah. All right, Josh, we got one more full-length album
Isn't
here to
that
talk
that is
about
one of their lyrics? It's a love hate love with the city I'm in.
with the city I'm in. Yep, exactly. That's why I said it.
Oh God.
Gotta love, hate, love with the city I'm in. And I'm gonna count the hours, having just one wish. If I'm doing fine, there's just no point to this. Yeah. All right, Josh, let's talk
At
about
least I tried.
let's talk about 2020's Lament from Epitaph Records. Okay, produced by Ross Robinson. Do you remember that name, Josh? We've talked about him a couple of times.
Was he the guy who did a couple of the Motion City soundtrack albums?
No.
Who's this? Ross? What?
Ross Robinson. He has done a couple albums from Korn, Niedermeyer's Mine, Korn, Life is Peachly, Korn 3,
Ooh,
Remember Who
Glass
You
Jaw.
Are. He also did Slipknot's self-titled album and Iowa. He also did Norma
Okay.
Jean's Redeemer and Anti-Mother. And he also did From First to Last Heroin.
Okay. Heroin's a weird one for them
Okay. It's a
because
weird
remember
transition.
they bring in Wes Borland also to play bass from
Mhm.
Limp Bizkit.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a weird one for them.
Wasn't that was Sonny Moore's last album, wasn't it? He only had 2 albums with him, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Excuse me. Skrillex. That was Skrillex's last album with him, right?
Yep.
uh, Ross Robinson would also contribute keyboards to multiple songs on this record. And this album was mixed by Steve Avetz, who we've talked about before. He's done work with Every Time I Die and a few other bands. So Lament has been described by Baum as a companion piece to Stage 4, whilst being a departure from the topic of the earlier record. When asked about the record and its relation to Stage 4, Baum had this to say, quote, I knew I didn't want to write any more songs about that subject matter because A, I've done it already, B, I don't really want to keep living in that headspace, and C, I need to move on from that as a human. I could literally write 5 more albums about it, but that's just not good for me or anybody else. Thank you very much for not doing that, Jeremy, because I don't know if I could take 5 more albums of that.
No.
Like one is
Nobody
good
should
enough,
listen to
man.
5 more albums of that. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, seriously, come on, man.
That's not healthy.
Songs on this album include Come Heroin, Lament, Feign, Reminders, Lament featuring one Andy Hall on vocals from Manchester Orchestra. By the way,
Limelight.
he also, what did I say?
Lament again.
Oh, my bad. Limelight.
Lament, feign, reminders, lament.
Lament Part 2. He also co-writed Limelight with Jeremy Baum and Touché Amoré.
Okay.
Exit Row, Savoring, Broadcast. I'll be your host this evening. Curtis. No, I'll be your host, Deflector, and the finale of Forecast. Give me it, Josh, your opinion. 2020's Lament.
This one's okay. Some kind of weird vocal stuff going on there sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 4 years between Stage 4 and Lament. And so I know the numbers are going to be a little off, but it really does kind of feel like you scared some people off with the last album because we're 3 years out from it and the numbers are just
Way
not
low.
even where like some of the old albums were.
Yeah.
So
I feel like they kind of
Limelight
lost some of
is the
their
most
luster, man.
listened to on this
Yeah.
album by like 3 times.
Oh, it's easily their best on the album. And I think we know what makes it the best, my friend. Well, he has that, but you know.
First time around, I saved Reminders, Limelight, and Savoring. Then second time around, I saved Feign, Reminders again, and Exit Row.
Okay. Yeah, I like me some Come Heroin. Lament's pretty good. Obviously Limelight, Exit Row is really good too. I think it was either I'll Be Your Host or Deflector. I can't remember which one. Maybe both. So yeah, I don't know. It feels like these last 2 albums to me started kind of the decline a little bit of their discography. I mean, definitely for me, their high point is Parting the Sea and Is Survived By, for sure. So
well, it's like we talk about all the time. Like it's bound to happen with
Oh,
every
for
band.
sure.
Every
Yeah,
Time
for
I Die
sure.
is the only band that I can name you right off the top of my head that just every album got better and better and better. It just doesn't happen. And bands are lucky if they can put out two or three really amazing albums, and you can't top yourself forever, you know?
No, no, you can't. No, for sure. For sure, you cannot, man. Yeah, I just kind of wonder too if like the move to like a bigger record label kind of put too much pressure on it, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I
I don't know,
mean,
man.
for a guy like him, maybe he's just said what he has to say, you know?
Maybe so. I mean,
And
I feel like you get a point too where it's like in a genre like that, it's like you have what you have to say, and then like you just get to a point where it's like, yeah, you're just like circling back around because there's just not like a whole lot that you can say in that genre, you know?
yeah.
So I don't know. Be interesting to see like what the future holds for them.
Yeah, I mean, we're
In
like
the next
three
5 years or
years.
so.
Yeah, we're 3 years out from this album. Like they could put out an album the next year or so and kind of still be in keeping with, the pattern they were in releasing.
Yeah, we'll find out, I guess.
Have you
That
heard
is
anything
too.
about a new one?
No, they just been doing some touring stuff. That's about it, really. Nothing, nothing new. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. That was 2020's Lament from Epitaph Records. The final album, well, it's not really an album, but the final thing we're going to talk about is 2022. Um, Touché Amoré and Circa Survive did a quote unquote split for a series on YouTube entitled Greetings from Splitsville, presented by 2 Minutes Too Late Night. Um, the two song what?
I thought that was hilarious. I thought that guy was so funny.
Oh yeah, he was good. Yeah.
He's like, again, but you got to buy the t-shirt during the stream. He's like, if you don't, he's like, people send me emails all the time about this. He's like, how do we get those cool shirts? Well, you go back in time and you watch the telethon. That's how you get one. He was like, you buy one from somebody who was watching the telethon. Again, mark these up to $1 million. We don't give a shit. Just buy the t-shirt. Like, just like
He does
he
not
was,
care, man.
yeah, it was very funny.
Yeah, the two songs that are played are cover songs from each band. So Touché Amoré covers Circuit Survive's Act Appalled, and Circuit Survive covers Touché Amoré's Come Heroin. What did you think about those covers, Josh?
I liked him.
I liked them
It
both.
was
Yeah,
kind
I
of what I was expecting from Circa Survive, and it was kind of what I was expecting from
right,
Touché Amore, like
right. God, man, don't get me wrong. I like Saosin and I like Circus Survive.
Circa
I would,
Survive is better than Saosin.
personally, I would not want to go see Anthony Green in concert. Have you ever seen like anything like him live? Like where
No.
he's not playing, not where he's playing an instrument, like he's just singing. The way he, okay, so like the way I was telling you about like how Dan from Listener does some stuff, like the faces he makes and everything. The way that Anthony Green like holds the microphone and like the way he sings into it, dude, is so weird and cringy to me. I don't know, man. It's so weird. And I know you're looking it up right now because I seen you. I know that turn when you turn to your other computer, you start typing away. But yeah, I'm just like, what the heck is he doing, man? He kind of holds it with one hand, he kind of like cups it kind of weird like this. And he kind of like sways his head. He's like, eh. It's like, what the heck, man? It's kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm with you. I was not surprised by the style that each band did the cover. Um I thought I was really kind of impressed though with the way Come Heroin turned out by Circus Survive their cover. I thought that was pretty cool to get the right exactly. Literally, the other hand is kind of like, yeah, exactly, man. It's like, what the heck? What are you doing? I can't hear you now. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
He like pulls it way out in front of his face. Sorry, it's gonna be more
Yeah,
visual if you're not watching on YouTube. He pulls it
watch it
way
on
out in front
YouTube.
of his face, he keeps like one finger like
Yeah,
weirdly like
like a
around
hook.
it the whole time. And then he also does that weird thing with his mouth.
Yeah. Do it.
He's like, meow, meow. Like he's got his like lips curled around his teeth.
Oh man.
It's very strange. Now he's like, what is
Now
he
he's
doing?
eating the microphone. What are
He's
you doing,
sweating
man?
so much.
Yes, yeah, he sweats profusely, man.
He's wearing a dress shirt. Yeah, and it's like it's blue and it's like drenched.
Maybe it was a hot night in like Louisiana or something. Just the confusion on
What's
your
hilarious
face.
is like everybody else is acting totally normal, just kind of doing what you
Right.
would think they would be doing.
He looks like he's
And
possessed.
he looks like he's about to fuck that microphone. Like he's
He's
dancing around
sweetly
just
into it,
like
man.
and he's got the mic. Yeah. It is oddly sexual. It's a little too sexual for like everybody else
Oh
just to be
man.
kind of like
Right. Well, they're
like
probably
everybody's
used to it.
playing totally normally. And
They're
then
just
he's
used
over
to it though,
here
man.
like yeah, putting on a peep show.
Oh my goodness, man. That's some
Wow.
good stuff.
All
I'm glad we
right.
could enjoy that together, man. Nice
Right.
little bonding experience. Oh boy. All right, Josh. We have come to the end of the episode. Um, do you I think do you have any do you have a favorite album or any like favorite songs overall in the discography? Again, I'm asking you specifically because you didn't really know who this band was. I mean, you kind of had a little bit of a grasp until going through this, and now you have the whole discography. Just kind of give me like your overall impression of Touche Amore.
Um, I like him for the most part. I could see working its way into my rotation. The self-titled, um, the first Dead Horse.
Basically, the first four albums, right? Or at least first three albums.
Yeah, I could see those getting worked in, and then also Parting the Sea. I could see myself listening to that. Even is Survived by. I
Well,
just
that's
don't
what I
think.
meant. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think I'd be listening a whole lot on my own to as a whole stage four and lament.
Ooh, no,
Like,
dude. No.
yeah, there's a couple tracks in there, but
Yeah. I definitely recommend sticking to their early discography. So,
they're on a playlist called Blood, Shred, and Tears.
oh, what the heck? I don't, I don't, I don't even want to know, man. I don't even want to know. All right. Well, let's get on out of here, man. That we finally finished it up. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at is survived by pro for news and latest episode postings, not just on this show, folks, but on our other shows as well. We have the Red Right Hand podcast, which covers all 6 seasons of the BBC/Netflix hit TV show, The Peaky Blinders. Josh and myself sit down and go through each and every episode of 6 seasons, plus some mini episodes in between seasons on some random things, history. There's even a trivia episode. That's one of my favorite episodes. I still go back and listen to it and laugh.
Some of
There's
those
also
mini-sodes are the most listened to episodes in the entire
because they are
series.
great, man. They are
There's some good
awesome.
ones. There's some good ones.
Yeah, there's definitely some good ones. So go check it out. There's also the Throne of the Dragon podcast, where so far we have covered season 1 of HBO's House of the Dragon, hopefully soon to be season 2. And currently we are in the middle of our series on the book Blood and Fire, right?
Fire and Blood.
Fire and Blood. Yeah, yeah. One or the other. Tomato, tomato. People can be looking up. I can't find this Blood and Fire book
Blood
you're
and
talking
Fire.
about. It's a witchcraft book.
I guarantee you,
Fire.
Blood and Fire is a different book out there.
Yeah, probably so, man. Fire and Blood, where we're talking about the Aegon's conquest. So definitely check out that. Hopefully part 2 coming up here soon, maybe.
Yep. Next episode, Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken, the Dornish
Yes.
Wars.
Like that. If that piques your interest, come on back. Come check us out. Also, while you are on Twitter, make sure to follow my co-host at Joshua Lynn Gary. There is also this message. Make sure to leave us a 5. I have no clue where I was going with that. I have no idea where that was leading. Make sure to leave us a 5-star review.
What message?
I don't know. It's been a very long day. I am so tired and mentally drained right now. Make sure to leave us a 5-star review and write us a comment on whatever podcast service you're using. If you want to listen to us and see our smiling faces, or see Josh describe how Anthony Green from Circa Survive does his vocals live, head on over to, oh my God, he's about to make love to that microphone he's holding on to. Head on over to our YouTube page. Just search Is Survived by Productions, and that'll have every episode from all of our shows. Subscribe to the channel and thumbs up the video. One last thing, if you would like to see us do some live streams, just make sure to leave us a comment or tweet at us the word stream.
Before we get out of here, what's the next episode? Who are we doing?
All right, here's the hint. Animals with cancer. Could it be cancer bats? The Every Time I Die of Canada?
I was going to say the sound of animals fighting. Cancer.
I like that. Yeah. All right, man. We'll see you in that next episode for Cancer Bats. See ya.
See ya.